Hi, good morning. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to do a quick pie dough. This is a very versatile recipe. It's called a 3-2-1 dough. It's 3 part flour, 2 parts fat, and 1 part water, cold water. You can do this with any kind of fat, and you can replace the water with another liquid like orange juice to make a sweet pie, or even stock to make a savory pie. I'm gonna make it plain, so we can use it for a pie to make a savory pie, or as well for an apple pie or something sweet. So let's look in the bowl right here. We have 12 ounces of flour. So this will be enough to make 2 pies. We have 2 sticks of butter, or 8 ounces. And then we have half a cup of water, ice cold with an ice cube in there. And that's 4 ounces. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can use the traditional cubing method. Show right there. We're going to cut our butter in cubes. Now I froze the butter, so it's really cold. And also put the flour in the fridge. Now to do little cubes and put them in your flour, like so. Another alternative method is to shred your butter. So because it's ice cold, I can just use a grater and shred it into my bowl of flour. So this works great. Now you could replace the butter with another fat, like lard or a shortening. Just make sure it's frozen if you want to use the grating method. The key thing here is to have everything really cold so that your butter doesn't melt into your dough. If the butter melts, or if it gets too soft, your dough will be tough. We want to keep the butter cold so that when it's in the oven, it will steam up and create a flaky dough. Alright, once you break all your butter pieces, run your fingers through, and you're gonna pick up any kind of leftover big chunks and just crush them. And that's good there. We have an avatar the size of peas. Not too small, otherwise we're gonna miss the mark, but not too big because they will melt too much in our pie dough when it bakes. Then we're going to have our liquid, so we're using water today, but it could be any liquid. You could use some fruit juice to make a sweet pie. You could use some stock if you were going to make a chicken pot pie, for example. Ice cold. This is a half a cup, so 4 ounces. We're going to add it in 2 increments. So half of it first. Just gonna toss this together. Alright, and then I'm going to add the other half. If you kept your butter nice and cold, it should look fairly dry. We're going to pack it together so it comes as a dough. You should see the chunks of butter. we're packing, we're not kneading. We don't want to form gluten in this dough. It's too crumbly, we might add a little bit of extra liquid, but usually it will come together, and as soon as you can pack it together, it will be the right texture. Right there, it's coming nicely together. Now this will be enough for 2 pie dough, so we're gonna split it in half and put in 2 wraps. You see the little chunks of butter in the dough, and those will give us a nice flaky texture. That's enough for 2 small pie shell or 1 double shell, like a covered apple pie, for example. You want to let it relax at least an hour in the fridge before you use it. You can freeze it, keeps really well. It looks crumbly right now, but as it sits in the fridge, the moisture will get dispersed. There you go. Save it as 2 patties in the fridge, and you'll be good to go. Another way to do this is using a food processor. You start with the cube butter, the flour, and then we're going to use a pulsing until it's the right size, which I did already. So nice little chunks like this. I'm using actually some flavored butter for this one. It's a honey butter with cinnamon, so we're going to have a perfect pie dough for an apple pie, for example. And I'm going to add the liquid. Same thing, 2 halves. Now this is obviously much quicker, but not everybody has a food processor at home. Don't let it run, it will overwork your dough. You just want to use the pulsing action. Alright, same thing, it comes together if you clump, and it will be ready to pack into a Ziploc bag. Alright, we'll see you when we make pies.